All right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are live at last for a little NASCAR Xfinity Series race coverage of tonight's Food City 300, as it is the regular season finale for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at the Bristol Motor Speedway here this evening. It's going to be an interesting race to say the least. Always fun when you go to the Last Great Coliseum here in Bristol, Tennessee. We've seen some great races here, especially in this series over the last several seasons. A classic finish in 2021. I was there for that one, but I'm here bringing you guys the coverage for tonight's race. 300 laps is going to be the scheduled distance here tonight. And we're going to see a lot of fun racing. These long green flag runs around this racetrack tend to bring a lot of good racing, mixing of the fast cars at the front of the field, trying to get by the slow cars, maneuver their way through traffic, especially in this multi-groove Bristol, which we have seen over the last decade or so. And we're seeing that again here this weekend. A lot of rubber being laid down in the middle to upper grooves throughout the truck race last night. We saw that in the full cup practice earlier this afternoon, and we'll probably see a lot of that through the Xfinity race tonight as well as the cup race tomorrow. Appreciate everybody tuning in here on KRC 2-hour stream. Full race live NASCAR commentary every NASCAR race weekend for truck, Xfinity Cup races, as well as Cup practice and qualifying. Of course, then again, this is the Xfinity Series race. This is also, as I mentioned already, the Xfinity Series regular season finale. So with that being said, we'll go and take a look at the point standings coming into this race here tonight. There's a battle for the regular season championship going on first and foremost. 15 playoff points on the line, and that will be awarded to either Justin Allgaier or Cole Custer at the end of tonight's race. A 43-point lead for Allgaier over Custer. Very good chance that it will be going to Justin, but if he gets in an early incident, Cole Custer maximizes stage points, maximizes race points, we can see that come down very quickly. Both those drivers starting up towards the front of the field. Personally, my pick to win tonight's race going to be the 7 of Justin Allgaier. So I think he's got it, but we'll just have to wait and see, of course. And you'll see the playoff standings scrolling across the top of the screen as of right now, coming into this race here today. The point standings on NASCAR.com are not correct, but the point standings for myself are, I do believe. So we'll put the point standings up there. Hopefully you can see it and let me know if everything is accurate on that end. Actually, I could probably look at it. I can't look at it on OBS, but I can look at it on my own stream. So let me pull the channel up. It's kind of mixed in a little bit. I'll figure out a way to get that a little better as the race is progressing forward. But for right now, we'll go over the starting lineup. And we'll go over the playoff standings in a little bit. Probably as soon as this race starts, we'll go into the playoff standings side of things for this Xfinity Series race tonight. Again, the graphic is at least up on the top of the screen. It looks like we're having issues with the lagginess potentially of the stream as well. Hopefully it's not going to be a constant issue. Could just be the scrolling ticker at the top. Who knows? We were having a little bit of lagginess issues earlier today, so hopefully that is not going to be the case through the Xfinity race today. I did everything I needed to on my end to try to get it going in the right direction again. So we'll hope for the best here this evening. Chandler Smith going to be starting on the pole for this one here tonight. Cole Custer will start outside of the front row in the second place starting position. Great qualifying run for Anthony Alfredo. Needs a win to get into the playoffs. In a must-win situation coming into tonight, he starts on the inside of row 2. Justin Allgaier, the favorite for tonight's race, on the outside. And then Clements with Brandon Jones in row 4, another one of those must-win drivers to try to make the playoffs, both of them, in fact. Kyle Weatherman and Jesse Love will line up in row number 5. Weatherman a top 10 in this race a season ago. Parker Kligerman with Ryan Sieg will line up in row 6. And, of course, fan favorite for tonight's race, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the field. He'll be starting inside of row 7, Sheldon Creed to his outside. Riley Herbst, Ryan Truex in row 8, row 9 for Austin Hill and Chad Fincham. Top half of the field round out Joe Graff Jr. on the inside of row 10, Sam Mayer to the outside. Sammy Smith and Josh Bilicki will line up in row 11. Row 12 for Stephen Parsons and Matt DiBenedetto. Jeb Burt with Ryan Ellis in row 13. Row 14 for Parker Retzlaff and Austin Green. Brennan Poole with Carson Ware in row 15. Row 16 for Leland Honeyman and Josh Williams. Blaine Perkins and Shane Van and Greg Van Alst rounds out the field in row 18. So 38-car field here tonight for the Xfinity Series race at Bristol under the lights. One to go signal being given to the drivers this time by. So lights are out on the pace car. We will be going racing. Well, that is usually the case with YouTube to you guys seeing the stream. But the pace car is just about to pull onto pit road on my end right now. Race tonight on the CW. That will be the case for the rest of the NASCAR Xfinity Series season as well. Green flag is in the air at the front of the field. Top three breaking away off the exit of turn 2. And now side by side for the lead at the very front of the field between Justin Allgaier and Chandler Smith. Allgaier leads the opening lap of the race despite starting in the 4th place position. And quickly trying to get that middle to upper groove working. Custer in the wall hard off turn 2. Slow down the back straightaway as cars whiz around him to the inside. It looks like the right front tire's flat on Custer. It's already in a major situation to try to get into the regular season championship hunt here as the caution flies already in these opening laps. So Custer getting up against the wall, cutting a right front tire. I'm not sure if that was the cause of him getting into the wall or not, but we are under caution on lap 4.
To drive his car to the surface of his pits. So it's early on. We saw Allgaier working his way up for the lead, but then it was the 00 Cole Custer who's brought out the first caution.
It's kind of hard to tell for sure how that ended up happening. It almost looked like the tire was down and then he hit the wall. Because he hit the wall at a pretty slow side barrier, but needless to say, Cole Custer kind of gets bailed out, honestly, with this caution. This caution doesn't come out, he's going to fall off the lead lap, and that's almost going to hand Justin Allgaier the regular season championship right off the rip. Which he still could take away if he just goes out here and wins this first stage. I don't have the regular season standings scrolling at the top of the screen, but again, a 43-point chip battle coming into the night. So just on these first 2 stages alone, Allgaier could try to wrap this thing up. Maybe even in this first stage, if Cole Custer doesn't get any stage points, Allgaier goes out and wins the stage. Will not be enough points for Custer to come by to try to take that title from him. I think I'm going to have to get rid of the text at the top of the screen. For one, it's not showing very clearly. For two, I got to figure out a way to try to not get this stream to lag. I don't know what's going on. We weren't having any issues with stream lag during the Truck Series race last night, but we were having it during the Cup practice and qualifying, and we're having it here. And I reset my internet in between streams. That was the first thing I did. So I don't know what's going on. And I know I logged not only during the last stream, but also in between streams again. So not sure on exactly what's going on there. Darren Dixon, Billy Kramer, Frank Powers, JoJo, Asai Z, thanks for tuning in. What'd you say about Bowman? I don't know. I don't remember, but mentioned about a legacy run incoming for him. We'll have to wait and see.
Kim, what's going on with Cole Custer?
Yeah, you see Cole Custer in that 0-0 leaving pit road, that incident into the wall, right front flat tire. The body of that car looks good, though. It was just dragging the splitter a little bit. They did free him up while he was on pit road because he's going to be starting deep in the back. He said it's going to help us in traffic. But, Marty, he wasn't the only driver problems early.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a problem with the radio, actually. They pitted a moment ago. He said he could not hear anyone from turn 4 to the flag stand. So when they came down pit road, here's Andrew.
Hello. Say it again.
So here's what they did, Steve. They went inside the car. They tried to replace the radio as we're getting ready to come green, and they still have the radio issue. They're going to go get a backup helmet for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Frustrating radio issues are so much of a challenge everywhere. Here at Bristol, nearly impossible, and with the pace lap so short, no time to work on it for the 88. For the 0-0, Jeff, interesting to have a flat tire so early. If you didn't run something over, I don't know if maybe it's a mechanical issue. We'll have to just keep an eye as the race progresses.
Yeah, watch behind the car. Rolls through the bumps. See the sparks? It makes me wonder if the car was really low in air pressure, hits those bumps, loses control, or is there something wrong with the car that made it do that? Look at the car bouncing up and down. Have to see what happens. You know, Dale Jr. and his team, they had radio issues in practice, and they were working on that after, and they obviously didn't get it fixed.
Getting ready for the week.
I mean, it's going to lie. The leader is going to be coming quick to try to lap him. They got to work through themselves. He and Cole Custer both. They got to work themselves through traffic.
Pretty exciting early, Rick.
That's right.
Action. So we have Allgaier now who is going to restart on the outside with Chandler Smith on the inside.
All right, green flag back in the air. Another good launch in the restart zone for the front row sitter, Justin Allgaier. Flag laps of the race. The yellow quickly came out on the third lap. And right now the battle is between Allgaier and Chandler Smith for the lead at the front of the field. Bit of a stack up in the outside lane further back in the top 10. Brandon Jones bottlenecking up the, looked like 51 of Jeremy Clements. Few other cars behind him. Chandler Smith does get to the inside of the 7. Can't lead that lap at the line. It can't stay side by side with Allgaier either. Smith definitely paired to the 7. Overall, in this early going of the run, the 81 does seem to be a little bit better. Puts the bumper to the back of Allgaier. And Allgaier now into the top lane of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2 yet again. Down on the bottom is the 81, Chandler Smith. Smith still side by side with them, center of 3 and 4. Allgaier going to get a straighter run off the outside of the racetrack and use that progressive banking to his advantage to carry a little bit more straightaway speed where he's gaining on Allgaier. Running just a little bit lower. I mean, it's the shortest route around, and there might be a little bit of grip on that asphalt compared to the concrete surface up above. It's kind of the old Bristol line, but seen that here today as well. 45 car has made it back out onto the racetrack. It looked like they were changing an engine on Stephen Parsons' car prior to the drop of the green flag, so Parsons, who missed the start of the race, is now back on the racing surface about 15 laps down to begin this thing. So Dale Jr., Cole Custer coming from the back here. Again, Custer having the flat right front tire leading to the caution. No major damage on the 0-0. Definitely got bailed out with a caution. And after the yellow flag came out, Dale Jr. had to make an unscheduled stop as radio issues big problem when you're at Bristol. You're going to need your spotter in your ear at all times. And for Dale Earnhardt Jr., as those problems have not gotten any better for Earnhardt, and apparently during practice earlier today, he was having those same issues as you heard during the course of the broadcast from Jeff Burton. Seems to be the case again here. Front 2 cars at the front of the field, pacing really well. With Justin Allgaier in first, Chandler Smith in second. Got a 1.5-second advantage over the third place car, Anthony Alfredo. Jeffrey Earnhardt is in fourth still, and AJ Allmendinger rounds out the top 5. So that is where we stand right now, working lap 22 this time.
Moment, Steve. Understand what that process is going to be like to change that helmet for Dale Earnhardt Jr. who's clearly buckled in inside the car. There's got to be a lot of work to put that backup helmet on.
Well, it's hard to put the helmet on. What makes it even more of a challenge for Dale Jr., he's one of the few drivers that puts his helmet on outside of the race car. Most drivers climb in, put the helmet on inside of the race car as we ride on board with the helmets cam, give it a good shot, looking back at Dale doing work. So they're used to putting the helmet on, hooking the Hans straps, plugging the radio in. It's part of their process. For Dale Jr., all of that happens outside of the race car. Then he climbs in. I loved it as a crew chief when he was my driver because you could make practice changes. He can get in and out of the car very quickly, but making this change on a pit stop becomes a little bit more foreign to the driver of the 88.
There's action all over the racetrack. You see Dale Jr.'s hands working diligently there. You had mentioned Allmendinger. There's AJ Allmendinger in the 16 on the outside of the 9 of Brandon Jones.
This is earlier. This is Steve talked about the 16 stacking everyone up. That was why. The Truex in the 20 car, Sieg in the 39, little contact. And then look at this mess. SV, old Custer, got no patience, got to go.
Can you have patience at Bristol?
Not when you're running in the 30s. The leaders are coming.
We're talking about leaders, though.
Yeah, so Cole Custer trying to come from the back to the front. Now, with Dale Jr. not being able to make the helmet change during the last caution, that means he's going to be on pit road for a lengthy period of time during the next yellow, whether that would come naturally or at the end of stage 1, which would be lap 85. So basically, his goal here, obviously, trying to get a feel for the race car, but also going to have to try to find a way to stay on the lead lap as he currently sits in the 30th place position. Custer, since the restart, on the other hand, is up to 23rd, where he runs. It's going to be tough to try to make adjustments on that 88 car during the course of this race as well when you're not having radio feedback from one another. I don't know if it's so much that Earnhardt just can't hear his team or if it's on both ends where they can't hear him and they are struggling to get word to obviously Dale as well. If they don't want to do it during green flag conditions, you'll lose multiple laps. And even under caution, it's going to be tough to try to make it quick enough to stay in the lead lap around a half-mile short track. 30 laps complete at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Side-by-side commercial break currently taking place on the CW. But as of right now, Justin Allgaier has led every lap in this race. Still only ahead by 0.2 of a second over Chandler Smith in P2. Anthony Alfredo is sitting third at 2.2 seconds off the lead. 3.3 seconds back for Jesse Love, who's now up to fourth. And Jeffrey Earnhardt rounds out the top 5 at 3.7 seconds back. 4.4 seconds back is Brandon Jones in 6th. AJ Allmendinger also 4.4 seconds off the lead in 7th. Sheldon Creed 5.1 seconds off the lead in 8th. Ryan Truex 5.4 seconds back in 9th. And Jeremy Clements rounds out the top 10. Clements is 5.5 seconds off the race leader. So that's the top 10 in the intervals between them in the early laps here at the Bristol Motor Speedway tonight. Listening live on KRC. Captain Goody and the High Sea Adventures, thanks for tuning in from Australia. Irina Sayre, Travis Glanton, thanks for tuning in to the stream as well. Signal Week, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I have full reception with the internet, on my laptop, on my phone, on my TV. But yeah, there's some issues of something that's causing the stream to lag. At times. And again, it's not consistent, but it's consistently happening inconsistently, if that makes sense. I don't know what's going on. I literally did everything I could in between streams that I know of that could have helped it. You know, it could be an OBS problem more so than an internet problem. But I know my frame rate keeps dropping at a pretty high rate on OBS and keep losing connection with OBS to the stream and reconnection, and I don't know what to tell you other than hang on for the ride, ladies and gentlemen.
Still up front, it is Justin Allgaier, and he has led 39 laps. With those 39 laps, he has now moved into fourth all-time NASCAR Xfinity Series laps led. He just passed Carl Edwards. Take over that fourth spot.
Justin Allgaier, in my eyes, he's the senior guy in this series, right? And this series is about young drivers trying to make their way in the sport, but it's also about guys like Justin Allgaier, very, very capable, talented drivers. And this is a great place for them. And they also have a role, and that is set the standard, right? Race the right way, do things right, race hard, and demand the most of those young drivers.
Allgaier just put SPG and lap down, and so you see the. How about Allgaier, Kim? Or excuse me, Allmendinger.
Yeah, AJ Allmendinger running in the sixth position. I talked to him race. He told me in practice this was the first at Bristol handling ice. They proved the kitchen sink at it. Right now, still not quite to his.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it is an interest.
Pretty fun jumps to that game. Let's see now.
Tim playoff driver Sam Mayer qualified 20th, but started last due to unapproved adjustments and for qualifying. Their car was pretty decent in practice, felt like it was really good on the long runs, and that is paying dividends for them right now. On that last restart, crew chief Marty Lindley told Sam, get to the top side, we're going to burn some fuel and burn that higher groove in. He's up 17 spots since this race. He is on the move in the one car running in the 19th spot right now. One car having a really nice run. The 5 of Anthony Alfredo currently in the 3rd position. It's been a sneaky good year for Anthony. 6 top 10 finishes so far this year. His best Bristol finish is 6th. 25-year-old out of Connecticut. You know, he's driven at RCR, some of the bigger teams. He finds himself on a smaller team now, but doing a really nice job. I didn't know how much speed he had. We saw it was good in qualifying, but he's showing up as well in the race. 48 laps in.
Yeah, if you're trying to learn a little bit, you can also go to Anthony Alfredo's social media. He posts his simulator runs on that social media. You see Jeffrey Earnhardt right now. He is running in the 5th position as the K9 Grass by Forever Lawn on board, and you get a good view from the top of his car. But just how fast the laps click off here.
And look how quickly the things happen. Jeffrey Earnhardt, he had good speed in practice too, so no surprise that he's able to have this pace. Let's ride along. A lap, Bristol Motor Speedway. This track looks, both ends look very much the same. Little differences in them. This is the start-finish line here. Jeffrey right to the bottom.
You can round the bottom a little tighter, 22. I still think you have time to keep.
It's great information. Big Payne, the spotter. Dylan.
This is another part-time Earnhardt in the field. Jeffrey just limited starts, and we go yellow.
Caution is out, and the 31 of Parker Retzlaff is involved, as well as 32, Austin Green. And look at this, race leader. Allgaier has the back of the car torn off.
This is the fear at Bristol. Doesn't even matter if you leave the race. No one is safe.
Steve, will they make him come and pull that off on pit road?
You can't. You have to have it. So they're going to have to reattach it. Let's see exactly what happens. Hard to tell. The 32's top spark obviously has some sort of issue, either a tire down or another issue. We saw the sparks. The 7, there you go, into the wall, out of control, catches the rear bumper of the 7.
Yeah, that's Bristol, right? I mean, there was absolutely nothing Allgaier could do right there. Clearly some sort of mechanical issue with Austin Green. Parker Retzlaff caught up in it.
So repairs are going to have to be made to the 7. That's a great shot right here. Chandler Smith. Rarely are you thankful you're in second and not the lead, but at that time, Chandler was happy he was about a second behind the 7. So yes, Rick, the 7 will have to come to pit road and put some repairs hatched because of aerodynamics in certain situations. We'll see what their opinion is on this rear tail. But it's a pretty heavy damage. That rear quarter panel, I know it's a short track, but you go very fast here. Aerodynamics matters, and that right rear quarter panel is like a crutch. When you go through the corner, you lean on that air like you would a crutch. And with it damaged, this car is not going to handle the same.
That was a break for Dale Earnhardt Jr., trying to work himself up, having himself to 17th.
Now the Whelen caution lights are on. And Whelen, the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders. It is the second time the caution has come out here. And there you see, he checked out. We'll give you an update on them. Second caution comes out. This one grabs the 7.
Alrighty, so under a caution for the second time here, Austin Green making contact with the outside wall up turn 2, likely due to a potential another flat tire. Big hit for him there, and that came down into the raceway of Parker Retzlaff, who was also involved. Severe damage on both of those cars. It does appear that both of them will be done for the night. So again, Austin Green, Parker Retzlaff, and Justin Allgaier, who was the race leader, trying to get by Austin Green after he had hit the wall. That was the last car in the lead lap at the time, right with Allgaier, and Allgaier ended up getting the back end of that. As when Green came down the track before hitting Retzlaff, he actually took the rear bumper cover off of the 7 of Allgaier. A little bit of damage to the back body of that. So they're going to have to reattach the bumper cover, as that is a mandated part for this number 7 car, and they're going to have to do some damage repair as well during this caution. So that will drop Allgaier out of the lead, and that's a big break for Cole Custer, as that will keep him in the regular season championship hunt, at least for right now. Custer, who had a problem bringing out the first caution earlier with a flat right front tire. So already the 2 drivers going for the regular season championships is going to gain some much needed track position on him and then some. And I would imagine the 7 team's going to be able to try to keep him on the lead lap, as obviously they want to go out here and try to get the most points they can and just win the race, but push comes to shove, at the very least they got to make sure that they get this regular season championship clinched tonight. A 43-point advantage coming into the evening there. And if we look at the actual playoff race standings, drivers who are locked into the Xfinity Series playoff field with a win would include Justin Allgaier, who has 2 wins on the year. 3 wins apiece for Austin Hill and Shane Van Gisbergen. 2 wins also for Chandler Smith and for Sam Mayer. And then 1 win apiece for Jesse Love, Riley Herbst, and Cole Custer. So then the drivers who are trying to lock themselves in on points, we actually have 2 drivers that are locked. Drivers that locked themselves in last week were Sheldon Creed and AJ Allmendinger. So 2 spots still left open to try to qualify tonight. Parker Kligerman plus 83 points and plus 43 coming into the day for the last driver above the cutoff line, Sammy Smith, and he is beating Ryan Sieg out. Sieg currently scored in 13th, Sammy Smith outside the top 10 in 19th. But that's going to be tough to try to overcome out of this race early, and Ryan Sieg scores a bunch of stage points and race points to try to win.
See, Dale Jr. has already disconnected the hose on top of his helmet, so they're going to pull in. He's going to take that helmet off as quickly as he can. And then he said, give me the helmet as soon as you can. I'm going to get the earplugs in as soon as I can. And then just get the window and net up. Let me do the rest of it. Let me handle everything. So the work going as quickly as they can, Steve. And he said the connection is what the problem was on the ear, but only when he held it in a certain way. They asked him to connect the hose there. Junior saying, connect that hose. Now they're going to put the window net up. I think pretty impressive there, Steve, for them to get that done that quickly.
The helmet swap so far has gone pretty good. He's plugging in those. There's ear mold he's plugging in right there. His big challenge now is to make sure it's strapped, and he's got to get it, the Hans device hooked up to it as well. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna be busy for a second.
So there you go. He's like, hey,
There's a Hans clip, and it's tricky to get on. It has a mechanism you got to turn just right to get it latched. It looked like he got the left one done. 1 is easier than 2 because now that the left one is hooked, every time he goes to pull, it gets tight. he doesn't have as much slack in the right one because the left one's hooked.
And you see how narrow the headrest is by design. There's not a lot of room between the helmet because you don't want your head kind of banging left to right if you have any sort of issue on the racetrack. Let's see, did he get it?
He's back on pit road. And Marty, we'll go back to Progressive Pit Road and find out. Marty, what's the status there?
You're going to love this call by Matt Noyes, bottom of your screen. Ryan Sieg trying to fight for that final playoff spot. The theory here is that they're going to come down pit road and they will not pit at the end of the stage coming up in 25 laps, and they'll run all the way to the end of stage 2. Jim Pullman told his driver, Justin Allgaier, obviously to come down. They're going to cop. He said it did not affect the spoiler at all, so this might not be a big disadvantage for the 7, Kim.
Marty, Harrison Burton recently announced his return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series next season for AM Racing, and this team has had so much growth over the last 2 seasons. What can you bring to the team to continue that?
Yeah, I think just take it to the next level, right? They've been trying to strive and get better year in, year out. I've been really fortunate. I've been to a lot of really good teams and kind of see how they run, right? So I can bring that experience, and then I think it can be that. There has to be a lot of work to do, but I think we can win races next year, so that's all you can ask for.
And before 2025 starts, you got to finish this season, and that includes the playoffs. Tomorrow is an elimination race. What can you and this team do here tomorrow?
Yeah, we have a lot of opportunity in front of us. We had a really fast car in practice, and just missing qualifying really just got way too loose. And it's a finicky racetrack, so when you miss it a little bit, you miss it a lot. And we've got a lot of work to do tomorrow, but no better place than to walk off with a win again and just see what we have to do. And if we have to win, go try and do that.
Excited to see what Harrison and the Wood Brothers Racing Team can do on the Cup side of things tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow you see what's happening on USA at 7 o'clock, countdown to green, 7:30. It is that final race of the round of 16, which Harrison is a part of after his huge win at Daytona. It was Wood Brothers' 100th win. So we're part of the playoffs, and it's the last race to determine who the 4 drivers will be eliminated.
Where he would land, and I think he said it the best. He could go help a smaller Xfinity program like AM Racing build. We've seen some of the biggest stars. Dale Jarrett comes to mind, who started at the Cup level, had to go back down to come back up. Mark, some of the biggest have done it. So young, tons of years ahead of him, and this series can continue to teach him a lot. And I think it'll teach him a lot about being a race car driver as well, trying to figure out how you build an organization like that. Let's listen in. Helmet looks secure. I love that the gloves are back on. Let's take a listen on the 88 radio.
All good. You're all set now. You were top 4 car that whole time. You're going to go wear their ass out now.
New helmet doesn't work. Let me translate from a guy's work with Dale Jr. for nearly 20 years. The helmet he had to start the race was probably a brand new helmet. If I know a man Dale, maybe he ran it in practice. This is probably it. He loves a certain design helmet. He doesn't get very many new helmets, so it's surprising, Marty. Sounds like they've gone back to Old Faithful, coming back down, whittling that down, some more work on the 88.
So a new wiring harness is what they're going to put in here, Steve. Andrew Overstreet said, we can do it in about 10 seconds if you want to come down pit road. Dale Jr. took the window net down himself, so they're going to be coming green here pretty quick. We'll see if they can get all this done in time so Jr. doesn't lose a lap.
So now I take that back. So now I guess he's saying the new helmet they handed him didn't resolve the issue if they're going back in the window. The problem is the field's coming to green. Now, he'll be okay if he only loses 1 lap. But if you go 2 laps down, it becomes a real big issue. They're plugging it in right now.
Currently, there are 26 cars on the lead lap. This was a pretty long caution as well. There was a lot of cleanup that had to take place. You see the 88 coming off its pit stall, and will be back out on the track, which he's, well, are the lights coming back on? They are. So they're not going to restart now. So they're going to go at least another lap. And while they're doing that, let's go back to Progressive Pit Road, Kim.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Anthony Alfredo in the 5 car, currently running in the 2nd position after qualifying 3rd. This is a great ever like 3rd is a win for the team. Currently, Anthony just saying really bad brake shake. Good on the entry to center, fired off okay, but getting tight. They had a good practice session. I talked with the team and they said they were a little free but made no adjustments coming into the race because they thought the racetrack would tighten up throughout the course of the season.
So now it's Chandler Smith and Anthony Alfredo that make up row number 1. Lights are off once again. That indicates that if that wiring part has worked for Dale Jr. as he's back out on the racetrack. He did not go a lap down. Pace car is off. And now coming up.
All right, lap 66. Chandler Smith will restart the lead this go around with Allgaier having the damage going to the back of the field. Green flag is in the air. We have 20 laps to go in this stage one after a lengthy caution flag, our second of the early going of this race. 3 wide in the middle of the pack, the 91, the 19, the 20. That's a JGR sandwich, as I'd like to call it, and Kyle Weatherman was the meat of that sandwich just a couple corners ago. They're back down to side by side at this moment, though. Weatherman goes right back up to the middle of the groove and is back 3 wide again. Further towards the front of the field, side by side battle for third between AJ Allmendinger and Anthony Alfredo. AJ completes a pass on the outside lane and is quickly going after Jesse Love for second. Good restart for Love to get to that P2 position. And right now it is race leader Chandler Smith trying to pull away from everybody out of his rear view. Justin Allgaier up around 23rd. On this restart, trying to get himself back in contention to maybe get some stage points before stage one is out. Definitely showing some great speed out of that 7 car, trying to drive back through the field. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who was tail end of the lead lap, still back in 26 as the last car in the lead lap. 26 cars, I should say, on the lead lap. 27th would be the battle for the free pass position. Was involved in the last incident. So nobody had gotten the free pass to get the lap back then. Cole Custer's back up inside the top 10 after having the flat tire on the second lap of the race. Got the yellow the next lap on lap 3 before going a lap down. Custer is now battling Jeffrey Earnhardt for 7th on track. So looking to try to gain some points on Justin Allgaier to stay in this regular season championship hunt for at least another stage. Allgaier side by side with his teammate Sam Mayer, but also side by side traffic in front of him as he's boxed in the outer lane. The 27 and the 8 are also battling. Custer still going to work on Jeffrey Earnhardt. Can't quite complete the pass. It's been side by side for a few laps in a row now with the 26 car. Off turn 4 this time, still not clear. Maybe one more corner and Custer may finally be clear for 7th. Yep, that is exactly the case. So Cole Custer now back into the 7th place position. Chandler Smith out to a 1.3 second lead. A lot of contact around Dale Jr. Back in the pack, Leland Honeyman getting into him. That was the 07 who missed the bottom of the track, got up into Honeyman. Honeyman cutting down on Dale Jr. trying to miss the 07, and that's where the contact happened around Dale. And now he goes after Shane Van Gisbergen, who's already a lap down in these early laps. Earnhardt should be able to hold on to the lead lap pretty easily to the end of the stage. Just 85 laps in stages 1 and 2 tonight. Final stage making up the finish of the race is going to be 130 laps. And they can make it on fuel all the way through that final stage without having to pit if they choose. And from that last caution to the end of stage 2, Ryan Sieg, who pitted, going to try to leapfrog the field by staying out of the pits during this next stage. Doing that again if they feel tires matter too much, but we'll wait and see. .2 second lead now, so Chandler Smith a little bit faster these last several laps than Love, continuing to grow the lead out. And Chandler Smith looked faster than Justin Allgaier those first few laps before Allgaier had to drop to the back after repairing the damage during the last caution. The way to get around him is having Allgaier run into an issue. 3 to go in stage 1 at the line. Also a battle for third going on between Creed and Allmendinger. Jeremy Clements under duress from Custer as well. 2 to go. And Jesse Love obviously building that gap between second and third up quite a bit with that battle between Creed and Allmendinger going on for as long as it did. Creed won the battle for third at the time. And now bringing stage 1 to a close at the front of the field is Chandler Smith. 2.2 second margin of victory in stage 1 for Chandler as he wins the first stage at Bristol Motor Speedway tonight. Jesse Love second in stage 1, Sheldon Creed third, AJ Allmendinger fourth, and Anthony Alfredo fifth. Sixth for Jeremy Clements, Cole Custer seventh, Jeffrey Earnhardt eighth, Ryan Truex ninth, and Joe Graf Jr. 10th. So those are the 10 drivers getting stage points in stage 1 here tonight at Bristol. A stage end at lap 85 is our third caution. And again, stage 2 will also be 85 laps in length, so we'll race till lap 170 to get to the end of stage 2. On the CW, and they are not live. So they're behind. Okay, so it's not just me then. I was thinking that this stream was like way behind because what we're seeing on the raw feed is like 3 or 4 laps ahead of what I'm actually seeing on the CW. And sometimes there's a delay. Well, actually, most of the time there is a delay on YouTube. So I'm glad that that might be the case for other people and not just me. Honestly, I thought it was my internet issues the whole time, to be completely honest, because I watch on Hulu and there's sometimes a slight delay because it's a streaming. Maybe the issue. Let me know in the chat if that's the same for those of you that are watching on the CW as well. I am curious about that. Yeah, SVG's always having a good time. Win or loss, completing all the laps or not getting caught up in a wreck early, SVG's always got a smile on his face at the end of every race. I mean, he had a brutal defeat last week at Watkins Glen on the final lap, a heartbreaking finish, and he was still smiling at the end. Stream buffers for a few seconds. Well, yeah, that's been happening all day. That's not the CW. But as far as like what I'm seeing on the CW compared to the raw feed, it's not synced up, it seems. So anybody else that is watching on the CW, you'll have to let me know, how off it is from where the raw feed is at.
Jeffrey Earnhardt restarted fifth, slid back to eighth, has been battling a tight race car all evening long, got really tight on that most recent run. They'll make an air pressure adjustment to help free him up on the corner entry. 4 tires and fuel for him, Ken.
As you see Sheldon Creed in the center, he said, good in the center of the corner. It's turning way better, but that struggle is power down off the corner. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, snowball fuel. AJ Allmendinger at the bottom. You see that chassis adjustment. Again, the other side of the racetrack, the 5 of Anthony Alfredo, top of your screen. He was reporting again a brake shake, but he said, good entry to center, fired up okay, but getting a little bit tight. And then Chandler Smith, that stage 1 winner in the middle there, the 81, he was reporting that he's free off the wall, needs more drive off, Marty.
Second in the stage for Jesse Love, who had never seen Bristol before today. He said, you're going to have to free me up. I'm losing time on that. So they go up on the track bar for Jesse Love. He said, I can also see that the track is changing. And Sheldon Creed, how about that stop by that 18 bunch? They gained 2 spots here on pit road, Rick. So,
all right, so Sheldon Creed wins the race off of pit road, as you heard, gaining 2 positions. He Herbst in the back half of the top 10, plus 4 for Joe Graf Jr. as well, minus 2 for Chandler Smith, who came in as the leader and will exit pit road in 3rd. Ryan Sieg stays out of the pits as initially planned. Might see a few other drivers who also stayed out of the pits that pitted during the yellow in the middle of stage 1 with the Austin Green, Parker Retzlaff, and Justin Allgaier incident. So Cole Custer able to go out here, get 4 stage points to Justin Allgaier 0. So the gap between first and second in the regular season standings as we enter stage 2 is now 39 points. So Custer chips into that just a little bit, at least giving himself a mathematical chance if Allgaier continues to run into more problems. Currently viewing pit stops a little ahead of me. The stream itself on YouTube, because there is always a delay there. It's usually about 30 seconds. So, like, even what I am actually saying isn't getting to you guys until like 30 seconds after the fact. So there's always going to be a delay there, whether the stream is running smoothly or not. That's just the thing that happens. All right, so free pass during the stage caution goes to the 43 car of Ryan Ellis. So Ellis will be back on the lead lap. So 27 cars are back on the lead lap. I don't think anybody took the wave around. And that is because they would not be able to make it on the fuel to the end of stage 2. By not pitting at the end of stage 1, unless they would have came to pit road during that last yellow, which doesn't seem to be the case. We're about to get this next stage going here shortly. Looks like they'll be getting the 1 to go signal this time by, I would think. We'll wait and see. So 3 cautions up to this. Our average race speed is 68.82 miles per hour. And it looks like the top 10 cars stayed out. So the top 10 stayed out. Everybody else from 11th on back will have fresher tires. So all those drivers that got stage points, none of them are in the top 10 anymore. Which is good for Ryan, seeing that he has more cars that stayed out behind him. One of the bigger gainers on pit road, Parker Kligerman's speeding penalty. He gained 7 positions initially, but maybe it wasn't speeding. Hold on. Uncontrolled tire. So uncontrolled tire penalty for the 48 is the cause of the penalty. So he'll be at the tail end of the field for this restart. And it's not just the tail end of the lead lap cars, it's the tail end of the lap cars as well. Lap 96 restart, green flag back in the air. It'll be Ryan Sieg, Brandon Jones on the front row. Both these drivers in a situation on the outside of the cut line trying to make it into the playoffs here this evening. Sam Mayer going to go to the outside, 3 wide for the lead, tight off the exit of turn 2. What a move by Sam Mayer as he pulls it off. Quickly enough by Sieg. He did get by the 9 car Brandon Jones for third though. Sieg holds on in second, but Sam Mayer 3 wide to the outside at Bristol. Pulls off the race lead in just 1 corner. Had that great momentum surge on the back straightaway. And again on the front stretch to hold clear. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 6th place position would have leapfrogged in the track position running order, virtue of not pitting during this last caution. So on pit road to top off on fuel when they were having the radio transmission issues, having to switch helmets and all that stuff. So he should be good on fuel to the end of the stage as well. But we'll see how much tires will be of an advantage here in this Xfinity race. Truck race last night, there wasn't a lot of tire fall off. We'll see in this Xfinity race if we'll see more of the same. About 30 lap older tires for those that are out on the track. Really, it's only 20 green flag laps, 30 laps under yellow. Junior now battling for 5th with Jeb Burton in the 27. A lot of Junior Motorsports Chevys on this strategy of pitting early. And you got Allgaier Jones and Dale Jr. all in the top 5. Mayer's leads out to 1.2 seconds. Sieg still holds on at third as the only non-JRM car in the top 5 positions. Allgaier looking to get by him for second. Side by side for the last couple of laps now. Allgaier slowly trying to work Sieg over. The longer they stay door to door, the more of a chance Mayer's going to have of pulling away. Sieg hanging on that right rear corner panel of Justin Allgaier all the way down the backstretch, pinches him off a bit into turn 3. Did everything he could to try to stay side by side, but was only able to do that for so long. He's single file now as Brandon Jones-Dale Jr. battle for position. Those cars on fresh tires are now starting to close in on Earnhardt, who's last of those on the older tires. Sheldon Creed, first of those on 4 fresh Goodyears, to the bottom, to the top. Slides almost all the way up into Cole Custer. Custer cutting a big break off of turn 2. Custer Creed continued to run nose to tail in the top. Chandler Smith trying to work the bottom. 18-00-81 on the same strategy and battling for position. Chandler Smith rolling the inside of the racetrack very well right now. Brandon Jones rolls the bottom well enough to get to third as he passes Ryan Sieg. Sieg just doesn't have the pace that the Junior Motorsports Chevys have right now. Dale Jr. trying to make a pass for fourth on Sieg as well, side by side for position there. And how long can these guys on older tires be able to hold on in front of those on the fresh Goodyears? 38 car of Matt DiBenedetto has a problem. Got up against the wall. He's very slow. We had a caution when Cole Custer had this issue earlier, but no caution here. We stay green. Good old NASCAR officiating inconsistencies. I don't know. I mean, Custer literally had the same problem. Slow against the outside wall. He got a caution. Unfortunately, Matt DiBenedetto must not be a high enough profile driver in the Xfinity Series. He doesn't get the yellow flag. He needed to stay on the lead lap. So that will drop Matty D off the lead lap back to 26 cars now, pacing on the same lap as Sam Mayer, who fronts the field. Allgaier, after making the pass for second, has been running lap times quicker than that of the lead. So Allgaier closes the gap. Six-tenths of a second off the lead. Still closing. Yeah, it's consistently about a tenth a second quicker lap right now for the 7 over the 1. Sheldon Creed's been side by side now for position. Numbers on the fresher tires are moving through the field. I'm sure they're not moving through the field quickly as they would have hoped. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has meanwhile fallen all the way back to 9th. Cole Custer leads the brigade of those on fresh tires, I do believe. Custer in 4th. And Custer's about 1.6 seconds behind the race leader, Sam Mayer. Oh, very tight gap. Smithley made a little contact trying to clear the 39 late on the straightaway. Pretty much just chopped his nose off, but Creed does hold clear, gains the position. And that also allowed for him to stay in front of the 81 of Chandler Smith as well. Dale Jr. starting to gain a little bit of ground on the outside of the racetrack, battles back with Riley Herbst. Outside, makes a pass on Herbst for 8th. And we'll see how much better that's going to work out for him. Mayer running the outside of the track, but even with giving up the bottom, Justin Allgaier is just rolling that inside lane so much faster than his teammate. And the lead is now just a few car lengths. Lap traffic coming up very soon. And that will be ongoing pretty much from now until the next yellow, although it's not heavy lap traffic, at least for these first few cars. Mayer will put that lap car a lap down. Allgaier going to have to go to the outside to get by the lapper, even though he was running the bottom to try to chase down the one of Mayer. The 07 was the last car to go a lap down. He was already off the lead lap, so he'll just lose another lap on the field. Caution is out meanwhile. And maybe an incident for Parker Kligerman. It's our 4th caution of the race. 50 laps to go in stage 2 at the time of the yellow, lap 121. So caution. And I also noticed the raw feed has been frozen. 38 team is pulling that 38 car. Seems to be down on power behind the pit wall, so DiBenedetto going to the garage. Not exactly sure on how Klingerman caused that last caution, but it does seem as if he is the yellow, and, well, there we got it. Replay. A spin. It looks like it was off the front bumper of the car behind him. It's very similar to the spin that we saw from Connor Zilic in the truck race last night, where it had gone from bottom of the racetrack all the way to the top after a push late into the corner from behind. So an identical caution to that of the truck race for those of you that watched that race last night and saw the Zilic spin off the front bumper of Nick Sanchez. Same thing happened here with the 44 of Brendan Poole to the back of the 48 of Parker Kligerman. So caution flag is out again. Again, this is the fourth yellow of the race. Our first caution of stage 2. Trying to refresh NASCAR.com here. I want to see if their raw feed... No, it's still stuck at lap 108. Well, we are at lap 123 now under yellow. Even though our raw feed says lap 108, it is frozen at the moment. Caution for the raw feed. Yeah, caution for the raw feed. See if it's still stuck on lap 108. Yeah, raw feed's still down. Got pit stops going on for the meantime.
Yeah, exactly right. So it was miraculous somehow that he didn't seem to have any damage to those tires. But Patrick Donahue making the call. Come down. We may as well be careful here and go pour fresh ones on for you.
He'll roll around pit road. Fourth caution already here at Bristol. And that means a restart with under 47 laps to go.
And I think this is an advantage for those guys that have a little bit older tires. The heat cycle will kind of equalize the tires that were fresher, that were coming. The negative is they're closer to you, right? The field's bunched up. But I really think that this caution, cooling all the tires down, they should fire off. I still think advantages to Custer. In this situation, like I mentioned, he might be short on tires, which might come into play later. Creed as well, Chandler Smith, those guys that have a little fresher tire. But for Allgaier, if he can kind of get out there and get clear, this would be pretty good.
All right, let's take a look at the Xfinity fastest lap here at Bristol. And it goes to Chandler Smith on lap 69.
There you have it. Chandler Smith ran the fastest lap of the race so far. So very few pit stops being had as pit road opened up a couple laps ago. Again, the raw feed is a little bit behind. It's actually just frozen. It's not even behind anymore. It's just frozen. But the lap counter stuck at lap 108. And the leaderboard's obviously inaccurate as a result. You have to let me know in the chat if you're able to get the... Is it just my end that the leaderboard is frozen on NASCAR.com? We've never had this before. We've had it down at the start of the stream, and then it'll come back up and it'll work. I've never had it freeze in the middle of the race before. I'm not entirely sure on that. It's on the USA Network for TV coverage. As far as Peacock goes, I think the NBC races are on Peacock, but I don't think the USA Network races are. That's how it was last year. I don't know if that's the case again this year or not with the streaming side of things. Lights are out on the pace car. They did get to choose that last time. Frozen everywhere, even on DraftKings. Well, that's interesting. All right, so we don't have a leaderboard at the time. Sounds like it's frozen everywhere. Thanks for keeping me updated on that in the chat. Technical difficulties of the abundance tonight. Green flag is back in the air. Sam Mayer, great restart. Not so great for Brandon Jones, who was inside of row one. Actually got hit from behind as he spun the tires in the restart zone. 18 of Sheldon Creed, tried to get him going and ran into him, and nobody went anywhere. Allgaier, who was very close to the back of Sam Mayer's back bumper, ran him down from a decent distance back during that last green flag run. Now has a mirror full of Cole Custer. Again, Custer trying to go for that regular season championship on Justin Allgaier. He's going to have to outpoint him by quite a few stage points, though, for him to finishing results by quite a bit as well. Still 41 laps to go yet in stage 2. It's probably the quickest caution of those that we have had so far in the race to this point. Custer side by side with Justin Allgaier. Custer on the bottom, Allgaier on the top. That has been the case for a few laps in a row now. Sheldon Creed also running the top in line behind the 7, so he's going behind the guy tech with Chandler Smith right there behind him, who was also running that top lane of the racetrack. Making the passes on the bottom is going to be difficult. It's been that way all night. It was that way towards the second half of the truck race. That extra practice time and on-track activity time for the Cup Series allowed for this track to be more rubbered in at the start of the race than what we saw in the truck race last night. While there was an ARCA race before that, I don't think there was as many laps turned by as many cars. Therefore, there wasn't quite as much rubber laid to a full Xfinity practice of qualifying before the Cup Series as well, which also took place earlier at the track today. Raw feed is working again on screen, by the way. Currently lap 136, so. Raw feed is back working. It was frozen for a little bit, but it's working again. Cole Custer's been trying to make this pass on Justin Allgaier pretty much since about the second or third lap of the race start, and just wasn't able to do it on the bottom. But he didn't lose any positions trying it, and now he's actually going to go to the outside of the racetrack, and for some reason Allgaier goes to the bottom, and I'm not sure why he did that. Custer's going to get by and get to the lead now. Or, well, for second, I should say. Mayer's obviously leading still. So Cole Custer moves to P2, and I don't know why Allgaier went from the top to the bottom. Probably because he was losing ground to Mayer. I don't think that 7 car can roll the outside as well as some of these others. He was running the inside of the track. One of the few drivers who's able to actually gain that kind of ground on the bottom of the racetrack. It's pretty much everybody else having to go to the top. That simple move, that very first corner, he went to the bottom. Custer pounced, got the second place in no time. And since running the bottom consistently lap over lap, corner after corner, Allgaier still remains in third, with Sheldon Creed trying to close on that top lane behind him for third. Now Allgaier goes to the outside trying to protect on Creed. Creed was getting too close for his comfort. We'll see how long he's going to try to run the top again. Creed to the bottom of the track going for third. Battle for the lead at the very front of the field as well. Sam Mayer nose to tail with Cole Custer right in his rear view. 29 laps left in the stage. 14 cars slow on the racetrack now. We do stay green. Smoke coming out of the back of that race car. So tough break for him. Now the interval, first and the rest of the field is off. It says minus 33. I don't know what that means.
Sure.
Oh, geez. It is a technical glitch nightmare on NASCAR.com tonight. Dale Jr. Riley Herbst battling for 8th. Those guys are battling for 8th before the last caution. It seems like that's the case again here since the restart. Custer catches Mayer, goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He was unsuccessful in passing Allgaier on the bottom of the track for second at the time, so we'll see what he can do battling for the lead. Tried it for one corner. Didn't feel it was going to work out for him. Goes back to the top. And continues to try to close. You can only get so close, I feel like, though, with the dirty air coming into play. And now the lap cars are running around the bottom of the racetrack, so Custer, another reason they have to go to the outside. Custer taking an awfully long time trying to get by Mayer, though, for the lead. Mayer got a little loose on corner entry into turn 3. Custer almost got to his back bumper. And one simple mistake by Mayer, and Custer will be there to pounce. But if it takes too long, Sheldon Creed's going to catch up to both of these guys, and we're going to have a 3-car battle for the stage win. Custer gets to the back bumper of Mayer, gives him a little love tap. Center of the corner cuts down. Off the exit of the corner, side by side in the front stretch, and all the way through 1 and 2 as well. 3 and 4, they'll be side by side again. If Custer went to the bottom, but he didn't, he goes back to the top. So he gave Mayer a quick little bump, trying to be aggressive, get him out of the lead. Custer clearly quicker, has fresher tires, gives Mayer another bump. Mayer holds on. Custer again, sails it into the corner. Gets great turn middle off, gets to the inside of the 1, maybe a little tap in the center as well again. Center of 1 and 2 side by side. Custer, slide job off corner X, but didn't go all the way up to the top of the track when he had a chance. Now he goes to the top and holds on in front. Mayer goes to the bottom of the track in a crossover attempt. He's going to lose time, and here comes Sheldon Creed now off the outside with a huge run. Gets into the back of Mayer, driving it off into the corner. Mayer got sideways getting down into turn 1. And Allgaier's even more sideways. After contact with Creed, he goes around. Caution flag is out. And the regular season points leader's got a problem. Decent size hit into the inside wall for Justin Allgaier, bringing out the caution flag. Custer got into the back, or I should say Creed got into the back of Sam Mayer, getting off into the corner. Caused a stack up, and by corner exit, Justin Allgaier and Sheldon Creed make contact. Allgaier slides down into the inside wall, nose first on the back straightaway. And a single car incident brings out our 5th caution of the night. Creed didn't go all the way up to the wall on corner exit. And I think it's because he was looking for a pathway under Mayer. He didn't change his line. But he definitely didn't go all the way up to the wall. And that might have been the reason why Allgaier had slid up into him on corner exit. As he couldn't hold that tight of a line on corner exit, the contact was made, and around goes the 7. Second time Allgaier's had an issue with an incident tonight, and only this time it was stage 2. And we will still get a restart in before the end of the stage. And we may see pit stops before the stage ends as well. We'll wait and see here. Pit road will be open this time.
They're having a little bit of trouble on the very top of 2, and he's trying to turn underneath them. And then the 7 just doesn't realize that he's trying to turn. It's just racing at Bristol.
And all of these drivers are now going to pit with only 15 to go at the stage. Will somebody do something else and try to gain some track position?
Let's go down to the progressive pit road and Dylan.
Brandon Jones, top of the screen, just said he fired off and felt like he was on top of the racetrack. Then the car leveled off. He got a little bit tight. 4 tires and fuel for him. Sam Mayer, 4 tires and fuel as well, Cam.
You see Sheldon Creed at the bottom. He said, I cannot pull the center like I want to. It's just too tight. Feels like he's spinning his tires, wrapping the corner, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, no go fuel, air pressure adjustment. A lot of debate on whether or not to bring him back to pit road. Ultimately, they did. He said, just loose up top, tight on the bottom. Chandler Smith in the middle there. Rigid on the top lane. He said his drive up is better, Marty, but still tight in 3 and 4.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. said his car just needs more overall grip, and he asked about Justin Allgaier, the car he owns. He saw that contact and wanted to know how the 7 fared in that. For Justin Allgaier, they have a lot of damage, and Allgaier, from the radio transmission you heard a moment ago, said, you've got to be kidding me. The splitter is 4 inches down on the right side, so a lot of damage here with a 7 car, and this really can have a big effect in the regular season championship.
Coming in, he had a 43-point advantage over Cole Custer in the regular season championship. And you see the race off progressive pit road, and the position changes. Custer, Mayer they were able to hold their positions. And you see now, hey, not going to be equipment leaving the lock. They didn't even know about it, but
Leaving
Oh.
the box.
this is going to be a problem too.
Yeah, so yeah, he took him.
He was trying to beat the pace car out. Flat. Stay on the flat. Stay on the flat. Free tools.
Reciprocating
Free
CTEs
tools.
didn't make it up into the crowd.
That's an advertisement. If that thing still works.
Oh yeah. After it was run over,
You see the damage on this car, Marty.
He took the salsa and he ran over the block. I was trying to say, yeah, he took one. Now the team has had to find another salsa to be able to get this this splitter issue fixed for Justin Allgaier. And Jim Pullman was screaming at the team, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. They couldn't move quick enough, so he actually ran over the block, Steve, that they were trying to fix that splitter with.
Yeah, so basically they're going to jack the car up, put a block under it, drop it, try to bend the splitter back up. He takes this tool out of the pit. So this will be a penalty, as you pointed out, Rick, for removing the equipment.
Will they give that back to him?
I'm telling you, that'd be like
AMR safety crew is going to find it on the track. They'll, I'm sure, take it back to the 17.
Rick has a work shot. Rick has a work shot at home. He's already calling for it.
I was going to say, if they, they don't give it back to the 7, and somebody wants to claim it, throw in the tools.
All right, so as a fellow glasses wearer in my old age, I can appreciate the battle that Dale Jr. Remember all the helmet situations? Well, look, not a new helmet this time, but here's your glasses back, buddy. They were the first helmet you gave us. So giving the driver his glasses back, I can appreciate this. Woke up about a year ago and couldn't see anything in distance. Dale Jr.'s going to probably think, I don't know if that's going to help or hurt the handling of the race car, but he's going to have better vision.
Rick put his glasses on the other day playing golf. He parred 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I birdied the hole. I birdied the first hole. I put it on. I was like, all right.
There you go. If you're a Dale Jr. fan, field will see how much more accurate he is with the spectacles.
So they continue to work on the 7 to try to get that damage where he hit the inside wall. So next Saturday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs begin in Kansas. And top 12 drivers are going to take their first laps towards winning the championship. The NASCAR Xfinity Series from Kansas next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, only on the CW.
I cannot wait for these playoffs to start. It has been a year in the Xfinity Series where no one seems to want to take it and say it's mine. And when these playoffs start, you don't have enough room to make mistakes. It's essentially a 3-race schedule, and you have to start and have things go your way. The Xfinity Series never disappoints. Can't wait to get it going.
And you'd say, no one has really jumped out there and said, this is my series and my championship to win. Allgaier is going to start the playoffs as the playoff leader. He's got a shot at winning the regular season championship. You get a lot of playoff points for that.
Well, it's not his night.
The crew working.
One to go signal has been given to the field, so they'll go to green this time by. Currently working through the choose rule. We'll have 9 laps to go in the restart in stage 2. And on the front row, it's going to be Jeremy Clements and Sammy Smith. So Sammy Smith trying to score some stage points to take basically Ryan Sieg out of contention of making the playoffs on points. And at this time, it would basically just kind of come down to a must-win situation for Ryan Sieg if Sammy Smith could capitalize off of this. So front row for the restart. Again, Jeremy Clements, Sammy Smith. Jeremy Clements is actually the control car on the outside. Justin Allgaier just leaving pit road as the field is getting to green. He's on the back stretch. Leaders on the front stretch. As we are back to racing the 48 of Parker Kligerman. Lost a little ground. Sam Mayer almost got in front of him. Custer now trying to get to the outside of Parker Kligerman. Couldn't quite do that, but he does get by the 8 of Sammy Smith, who is underneath him still. Sammy Smith from the inside row 1 is dropping like a rock on those older tires. Meanwhile, the 7 of Allgaier off the pace on the backstretch, trying to meet minimum speed and stay on the lead lap to the end of the stage. He's bottoming out quite a bit in contact at the front of the field. Parker Kligerman got into the 00 of Cole Custer. Custer got up against the wall. Cole Custer all over the back of Sheldon Creed now. Custer needs these points here. With Justin Allgaier in trouble tonight. Custer trying to stay in the regular season championship battle, and he lost potential couple points here if he can't get these spots back on the final couple laps of the stage. Kligerman and Jones are side by side, holding everybody up. Custer aggressively to the outside of Creed. And a bumper to the back of the 48, who put him in the wall initially. That kind of started that stat. More to go in the stage for Clements. He's a second and a half ahead of Kligerman and Jones, who are still door-to-door for second place. Meanwhile, Justin Allgaier has fallen off the lead lap. Down to the bottom of the racetrack still, trying to stay in that free pass position to the end of the stage. We'll see if he can do it. But he is well off the pace, and we still got 3 to go. Again, Custer to the back of the 48, giving him a bump. 3 wide middles, Brandon Kligerman against the wall. Probably got put there by Custer after contact. He'd been working his back bumper over for the last several corners. 3 wide, just behind Kligerman, bottlenecking in the outside. Herbston Jr. Jr. trying to get to the outside of Riley. Herbst backs out of it. Smart move. Didn't want to get squeezed into the wall. Dale Jr. working himself back into the top 10 yet again. Sam Mayer to the inside. Earnhardt might get picked behind Kligerman. Couldn't lose a spot at the end of the stage. Front of the field, Jeremy Clements going to win stage 2. Kind of a surprise here tonight for that. Cole Custer brings it home in second. Ryan Truex third. Sheldon Creed fourth. And Chandler Smith fifth. Jesse Love sixth. Riley Herbst seventh. Sam Mayer eighth. Parker Kligerman ninth. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. rounds out the top 10. So that is your top 10 for stage 2. Here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the stage end will be our 6th caution of the evening. We'll see how this is going to go about. Definitely didn't have Jeremy Clements winning stage 2 tonight on the bingo card, but he does get it done on pit strategy. So it took Custer quite a long time to try to get to second place. Boxed in behind the 9 and the 48 for a long time. Eventually did get to second, so 9 stage points for Custer. And after Allgaier fell off the lead lap, he did not hold on to the free pass position as he fell to 30th, which was the third. So Perkins gets the free pass. He's back on the lead lap. The caution before that, the 15 car of Logan Bearden had gotten the free pass from the Allgaier incident on the back straightaway. So again, 28 cars on the lead lap when we get back to racing here to begin stage. Should be able to make it on field to the end. They were right at the edge of the pit window. They're going to have some extra caution laps now. May get another caution later in this stage that they could save fuel as well if they choose not to pit at that time. Tires have mattered a little bit, but not as much as you would think. I'd probably say tires have meant a little more in this Xfinity race versus the truck race last night, but not by much. So again, Cole Custer, second in the stage, and he outscores Justin Allgaier in the stages today 11-0. 9 points in stage 2, 4 in stage 1, 13, sorry. So 13-0 for Custer in the stages. So he is 30 points behind Allgaier for the regular season.
Run, so they are swinging for the fences. Air pressure, wedge adjustment, and a track bar adjustment for the 48, in addition to 4 tires and fuel for Kligerman.
And Fruit congratulating Jeremy Clements on that stage win as he makes his way along pit road. He just said the balance was fine, a little free, loses front turn as they run. The water temp, though, was up, so they will put tape off the front of that race car as they put Goodyear tires and make that chassis adjustment on his car. You see the 8 of Sammy Smith, he plummeted during that stage. He said, I'm too free on short runs. I have no front grip, no rear grip, just 0 grip. So this team is going to take a big swing in this race car for the final stage morning.
Teammate Justin Allgaier still has some damage to fix. They're still dragging the right front, so you're going to see them take a jack here to the right front and try and get that splitter fixed. And by the way, the question of the night that everybody wants to know, does the Sawzall that he drug halfway around the racetrack still works? Here we go. Yes, it does. Now, half of it doesn't exist on this side where he drug it off. But, Steve, here's the answer to your question. It does indeed work.
Just wear a glove with your left hand, Rick. We'll get that for your shop at home.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Sawzall works. Cole Custer is going to take over the race lead. He stayed out of the pits, leapfrogs up ahead of Jeremy Clements, who stayed out during the caution before that to stay out in front of the field on the restart and allowed him to win stage 2. So Custer will be the leader. And again, he has to outscore Justin Allgaier by 30 positions here in this final stage in order, or 30 points, I should say, in this final stage in order to win the regular season title, which could very well happen. Now, it's 1 point per position in the finishing order, except for the gap between first and second. The gap between first and second is 5 points. And then it's 1 point per position after that. So let's say Cole Custer finishes in second place today. Justin Allgaier would have to finish 32nd or worse in order for Custer to still win the title. But if Cole Custer, that would be 40 points for his place finish. That means Justin Allgaier would have to finish 27th. And currently Allgaier is 29th with 28 cars in the lead lap. So not good for Justin Allgaier if Cole Custer wins. Because it's going to be tough with Allgaier having the damage he has to get a lap back and gain a couple more positions. Now, if a couple other cars drop out of the race, and Allgaier has a 3-lap gap back to Greg Van Alsten, the running order behind him, then there's a chance there that, you know, he won't lose any more positions and just needs Custer basically to fall out of the lead. But if Custer wins this race tonight, there's a very strong possibility he wins the regular season title. Now, technically, in the regular season standings, Justin Allgaier has the tiebreaker as of right now because he has 2 wins to Custer's 1. But if Custer wins this race, I do believe Custer would then take over, as he has a better average finish than that of Allgaier. So I do believe if Custer wins, he would have the tiebreak over Allgaier. So again, we'll keep an eye on that. 30 points is the gap there for the regular season championship. Parker Kligerman's locked himself into the playoffs on points. Got some stage points there in stage 2, which allowed him to clear Sammy Smith. So if we get a different winner below the cut line, Kligerman will still be locked in and Sammy Smith would be out. And pretty much that's the over for the Xfinity Series here tonight. Would be a win. Ryan Sieg came into the night minus 43 points. He is not in contention to try to point his way in, I don't believe. It's a 28-point gap based off of Sieg in 10th right now. Sammy Smith in 24th. And Sammy Smith is towards the tail end of the lead lap. Sieg obviously could gain a few more positions, but probably going to have to win this race tonight. So the field had gotten the 1-to-go signal already, about to be 300 at Bristol. Green flag back in the air now as Cole Custer leads us to the green. Sheldon Creed inside of row 1, trying to hang on with Custer, but Custer with a good restart initially. And he is clear off turn 2. Creed trying to get to the outside lane on his teammate Ryan Truex, and is able to do so. Truex got out of the gas, let his teammate go. Almost costing him a position on the bottom by Jesse Love, but Love is going to be able to hit the front. Sheldon Creed with the power move gets out in front of Custer through 3 and 4. Lap 182, Sheldon Creed back out in front at the Bristol Motor Speedway as he gets ahead of Cole Custer. Custer sits in second now. Battle for third between Ryan Truex, Chandler Smith. Smith gets hit in the left rear corner panel by the 2 of Jesse Love. Holds on to his race car, but both the 2 and the 81 drop back just a bit. While Ryan Truex tries to overtake Cole Custer for second place. Top 5 on the restart. Sheldon Creed in the lead. Cole Custer second. Ryan Truex third. And Chandler Smith fourth. Jesse Love fifth. As the top 5. Again, 115 laps still to go at Bristol. Dale Jr. on the restart battles Riley Herbst for 6th. Showing the replay of the contact that took place between Love and Chandler Smith while battling for position. Great job by Chandler holding on to his race car. Kept it off the outside wall as well. Herb's kind of stacking up the outside lane and cars behind him. Dale Jr. trying to pass him on the inside for the last several laps, unable to do so. And we'll see if Earnhardt can get back up in line in front of Sam Mayer, but there's kind of a tight gap, and I don't think he's going to be able to do so. He either needs to make this pass on the 98 or get to the outside and try to find a way around him there before he loses too much ground. Top 5 cars in the iRacing 413. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Saying Chandler Smith's going to win the race. I know a lot of you other people in the chat have been watching. Emmett Carter, thanks for tuning in tonight. XX Larry, NASCAR Penske Cup Series Racing. Clownard, Rod Brown, JoJo, Billy Kramer, Frank Powers. Appreciate it, everyone. Even with the technical difficulties we've been having throughout this stream, I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in yet again. We'll be live again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the NASCAR Cup Series race at Bristol Motor Speedway as well. So Earnhardt was able to get back to the outside lane, but Sam Mayer had to get around him first. So Dale Jr. now sits in 8th, nose to tail behind Mayer, who is also nose to tail behind the 98 of Herb still in front of him. Battle for 3rd between the JGR Toyotas of Chandler Smith and Ryan Truex. So after losing a little bit of ground, battling with Jesse Love, Smith was able to finally clear, pull away from him. Remember, Chandler Smith won stage 1 here tonight. Led some laps early. It's been a minute since he's been in the lead. But here he sits, battling for 3rd. 2 seconds off the lead and needs to get by the 20 car quickly before the 00 and 18 continue to pull away. And Custer, after losing the lead initially on the restart to Sheldon Creed, is starting to close back on him. Chandler Smith, meanwhile, bottom of the screen, is clear on Truex, and now is going to try to drive away from him. Custer and Creed get to battle, and Chandler Smith can really start to close that gap on those two. As well, when they get into lap traffic, that fight's going to be a little difficult as well for the leaders. Haven't seen lap traffic yet in stage 3. Haven't had a long enough green flag run. 105 laps to go with where we stand right now. Again, everybody good on fuel to the end. But if we do go green all the way to the finish of this race, those tires are going to be beat. So who can have the long run longevity in this final stage, whether they end up pitting for tires or not if we get a yellow? Dale Jr. still in 7th. And it seems like him and May are starting to pull away from Brandon Jones. They were able to get by Riley Herbst over the last several laps. Herbst has since fallen to 9th, as Jones had gotten around him as well. Cole Custer running down Sheldon Creed still. Lap car in the 35 on the bottom of the racetrack. Custer is lap 199 at the line this time. Big cut in the center of the corner. Custer's really good at getting that turn down in the center of 3 and 4 especially. Gets the cut in the center of the corner. Gets a good drive off, just getting that much clean air on the nose. It's kind of more of a straight line exit. It's almost like Diamond cutting the corners off, and Allgaier's got a problem again. Right rear tires down on the 7, bringing out another caution. 3rd yellow, and Justin Allgaier's beard laps to go. This has been a night getting worse and worse and worse for Justin Allgaier. They need to keep this car in the race to put more pressure on Cole Custer to not let this regular season championship slip away from him. Again, if he just drops out of the race right now, him running in 30th, there are still points. So this 7 team can't just give up, even though they're getting involved in incident after incident at this point. They've got to try to keep him in, and he's right back on the DVP clock again because of bringing out this caution. They cleared it twice already. Now he's going to have to clear it a 3rd time. Right rear tire just getting cut flat there. Just damage on the right rear fender that wasn't cleared from the prior incident. I don't think there's a limit to how many times you can crash in a race. I think NASCAR, there's really not much NASCAR can do about it. And they're all single car incidences, too, in the sense that it's not like he's bringing anybody else in with him in the wreck, so it's not like a danger to the rest of the racetrack, but doing a good job at least not bringing anybody else up involved in the incidences as well. Bubba Davis, thanks for tuning in as well. Kevin Salyer, thanks for not in the home area, not MRN either. Live info and announcer. Doing a great job. I greatly appreciate that, Kevin. Do my best to try to give you guys a commentary over the course of the race. Trying to build my own repertoire for hopefully being able to broadcast, or commentate, I should say, future races down the line in real life. So, really appreciate you tuning into this stream here tonight. As well as every weekend, we got live NASCAR content just like this. NASCAR Truck Xfinity Cup Series races, as well as Cup practice and qualifying every Saturday, Sunday, or in this case, Friday.
The frustration evident on the radio. Riley just said, everything is so bound up. I feel like I can feel every single bump on this racetrack. So was struggling late in that run. Said he felt like he burned the front tires off here. They're going to make a couple changes to try to make the 98 a little better.
7 leaving pit road, as is the 98. Tire going down.
All right, well, 97 to go right now. We'll probably have just over 90 laps left if I had to imagine on this next restart. Hopefully we don't have any lagginess with the stream for tomorrow night. Again, we were perfectly fine yesterday, but during the practice qualifying stream for the Cup Series earlier this afternoon and now this stream, we're kind of having some lags with the stream. So not a usual problem. We usually never have a problem like this with the live commentary stream. So I'll try to get to the 7 p.m. tomorrow night for our pre-race of the Cup Series. So hopefully I should be able to try to figure out what the heck is going on. I don't know if like OBS maybe needs like updated, if there's an update on there or something. That's the only thing I didn't check in between streams. But I did everything like internet wise, and I don't think that that's a problem for me. Because like I said, I mean, I'm not losing stream connection, but OBS is losing connection to my stream. So that could be an issue. But appreciate it. Spyman, also welcome into the stream. Just over 100 concurrent viewers watching. Be sure to hit the like button. It helps these streams out a ton. Helps the channel out a ton. So does hitting that subscribe button. So be sure to do so if you haven't yet. Again, live NASCAR commentary streams like this every NASCAR race weekend. Truck Xfinity Cup action. We're getting down to the end of the year. After tomorrow night's Cup race, we only got 7 left. 7 more weeks of NASCAR. We'll be back at it again, of course, next year as well. So midweek NASCAR content also on the channel. Trying to make this a daily NASCAR channel. So tune in for the ride. On the road to 6K currently. See who got the free pass. Not sure. Actually, Allgaier might have been in the free pass position and then lost it because he was the cause of the caution. I think that's why it's not showing anybody getting the free pass. So I think Allgaier would have been the first car lap down. But he was the cause of the yellow, so nobody going to get the free pass. Carson Ware's 2 laps down, it looks like, in 28th. And Allgaier did lose a couple more positions then, as he's now 5 laps down in 31st after this yellow. Cole Custer has elected to restart outside row 2. Sheldon Creed outside row 1. Inside row 1 for Chandler Smith. Green flag back in the air as the JGR Toyotas lead us back to green. 95, make that 94 laps to go at Bristol. Sheldon Creed side by side still for the lead. Good restart in the bottom of row 1 by Chandler Smith. Haven't seen too many drivers be able to stay side by side with the car on the outside through the first couple corners like Chandler did just then. Although it was only for a lap battle for second into 3 and 4, coming around for 92 to go this time by. Sheldon Creed is all clear. And trying to get a gap on these couple cars behind him, Cole Custer in the 00 is able to hold on for second and pursuit after the 18 of Creed. Big cut center of the corner. I think Creed got against the wall off turn 4. A little bit of a mistake there by Sheldon, a little too far wide. Cole Custer takes advantage. Slide job maneuver by Custer, clear for the lead. Crossover attempt by Creed, not going to get it. 90 to go this time. Cole Custer back out in front, and he'll take the lead in the current regular season point standings in doing so, with Allgaier still back in 30th. It looks like on the restart, Jeffrey Earnhardt may have pulled off of the track and out of the race, so another point was awarded to Allgaier, moving him back to 30th place. So mechanical issues for Jeffrey Earnhardt have dropped him now behind the pit wall. Dale Earnhardt Jr. battles for 5th with Ryan Truex on track. A little contact on the front stretch. Earnhardt tried to dive back up in line on the outside before he was in danger of losing a spot to Brandon Jones. Clipped the left rear corner panel of Truex. Didn't really slow cars down much around him, including the 20 and the 88. Custer a little over half a second lead over Sheldon Creed in 2nd. Chandler Smith in 3rd. Earnhardt Jr. 6th. Brandon Jones 7th. Sam Mayer 8th. Ryan Sieg 9th. Austin Hill rounds out the top 10. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got to get a little bit closer to Truex before trying to make this pass again. It does seem like Truex is maybe holding up Dale Jr. a little bit. Not sure how much. We haven't seen Dale up in the top 5 on equal tires with the rest of the leaders yet today. The only time he was in the top 5 earlier was at the end of Stage 1, beginning Stage 2 on pit strategy, where he restarted in 5th. Fell back to about 8th, 9th place before settling in. Was there all the way to the end of Stage 2. And this is all after the radio issues that they had at the very beginning of the race. Pretty much the entirety of Stage 1 trying to solve that. And I don't even think they ended up solving it. So I doubt that there's been many adjustments made to this 88 car over the long haul of this one. Dwayne Smith, thanks for tuning in as well. None of the apps have the stream. Well, appreciate you tuning in. Let's get to 100 likes. The goal is 100 for these Xfinity Series streams. So be sure to hit that like button. We're only at 47 right now. 81 laps to go for Custer. Earnhardt's been going to work on Ryan Truex. He'll get to the inside, but he can't quite stay there by the time they get to the next straightaway and then that following corner. And he can't seem to build up enough momentum on the outside of the racetrack to get down to him. Now Earnhardt goes to the bottom and Truex goes to the bottom. Try to protect that way. And as soon as Earnhardt tries to go back to the outside, Truex goes there as well. If Earnhardt could have gotten to the outside of the 20, now he goes to the outside, Truex back to the bottom, runs the top. Yeah, he's done that 2 laps in a row now. We'll see if he continues to do that lap over lap. At least gives Earnhardt a clean air advantage in 1 and 2 when he does that. Dale drives it in very deep through turns 1 and 2. Got closer to Truex's back bumper, but can't actually get there physically. Junior loses a little time to Truex that time. Through 3 and 4. Dale down to the bottom of the track through 1 and 2. Truex to the top. Dale again to the bottom in 3 and 4. And he's going to have to make sure Brandon Jones doesn't get too much of a run on the top lane behind him. Otherwise, he could be in danger of losing a spot. JGR cars have had pace tonight. Obviously, 3 of them in the top 5. Showing pace on the Cup Series side of things as well. 3 of them qualifying up in the top 10 earlier today. And Ty Gibbs was fastest in practice. And guys, tomorrow as well. But as far as tonight's race goes, even though they've been strong, it's Cole Custer and a Ford for SHR that's leading the way. 1.2 second advantage built up between Custer and Creed at the front of the field. Chandler Smith 1.7 seconds back in 3rd. 4th is Jesse Love 2.6 seconds off the lead. And this battle for 5th between Ryan Truex and Dale Jr. Truex currently still has 5th, but he's now 4.2 seconds back. Right there on him, has been for a while. Brandon Jones is all over the back of the 88, and Mayer's all over the back of the 9. So you just got 3 Junior Motorsport Chevys just waiting to pass Truex. It's one of those things where if he loses the top side of the racetrack to Dale, It's going to create a pathway on the top of the track for the 9 and the 1 to get by the 20 as well. Never know if you can get a caution too. Get a caution, you're right back up with the leaders again. And in that 5th place position may lead to pit stops, could gain a couple spots on pit road. So that is why, even though it's a battle for 5th, Ryan Truex is trying to hold on for all he can. Dale Sr. would have already put the 20 car in the wall. He may have. And Dale's been very close. He clipped the left rear quarter panel a couple times before the 9 car gets there. Definitely racing him clean. Lap car in the bottom, so Junior can't go to the inside again that time. It's been the Dale Jr. camp for the last 20-25 laps or so, as frustratingly just can't get around the 20 of Ryan Truex. Race leader Cole Custer working through lap traffic as he puts Logan Bearden a lap down in the 15. It was announced earlier in the race, in fact, that Harrison Burt will be driving that 15 car for AM Racing beginning in 2025. It was announced a few weeks. Was not going to be returning to that team in the Cup Series. But he'll be back in the Xfinity Series full-time again with AM Racing beginning next season. So if you might have missed that news earlier today, there's an update there. We'll go through the full field running order rundown now with 62 laps to go. Again, Cole Custer leads by a second over Sheldon Creed. He's cut that gap down in lap traffic just a bit. Chandler Smith 1.4 seconds back in 3rd. Jesse Love in 4th. Ryan Truex 5th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 6th. Brandon Jones 7th. Sam Mayer 8th. Ryan Sieg 9th. And Austin 13th. 14th Parker Kligerman. And 15th is Anthony Alfredo. 16th for Riley Herbst. Brennan Poole in 17th. Joe Grab Jr. 18th. Shane Van Gisbergen in 19th and Josh Bilicki 20th. Josh Williams 21st. Kyle Weatherman 22nd. Blaine Perkins 23rd. Ryan Ellis 24th. Kyle Sieg 25th. And Jeb Burton last car in the lead lap at 26th. 27th, 1 lap down, Logan Bearden. Carson Ware 28th. Greg Van Alst 29th. And 7 laps down in 30th is Justin Allgaier. Neto 34th. 35th, Jeffrey Earnhardt, 36th, Garrett Smithley, Parker Retzlaff 37th, and Austin Green 38th. Handful of cars out of the race today, just over an hour and 40 minutes into this one. 73.55 mile per hour average race speed. And currently Justin Allgaier still led the most laps tonight despite all of his issues, as he has led for 60 laps. Sam Mayer for 55. For Sheldon Creed, 30 for Chandler Smith, who won Stage 1. Stage 2 was won by Jeremy Clements, who led for 17 laps. So those are some of the drivers who have led laps in this race today as well. 6 cautions, only 1 in Stage 3. We had 2 cautions each in Stage 1 and Stage 2. Not including the stage ends at lap 85 and lap 170. So that's your race update. Take an ad break here.
58 laps remaining and Cole Custer still out front. But coming up next, it's San Jose State at Washington State.
Oh boy, we got barn burner.
Washington State's gunslinger, quarterback John Mateer, who has 11 total TDs already in their first 3 games, going up against San Jose State's quarterback Emmett Brown.
We got the Trojans versus the Cats.
Game this season. Battle there offensively for those 2 teams. The fight now is for second between Creed and Chandler Smith. Creed in the 18, Chandler Smith in the 81. And Jesse Love is throwing his name in the mix as well in that 2.
Jim Burton in that 27 orange, white, blue car. He's running the top of the racetrack. And these guys are all trying to get by him. So Jesse Love went to the bottom. They're trying to pin somebody behind the 27.
Board. And so Creed has got to his inside. And Creed is going to clear the 27. And now we'll see what Chandler Smith can do. He's also now to the inside. That was the 2 radio from Jesse Love. Marty.
Yeah, that's to Jesse Love, who had never seen Bristol before he showed up at the racetrack today. And Danny Stockton joked with me, the reason he's been so good tonight, he listened to me. He asked Stockton for one piece of advice coming into the weekend. He said, if you work the bottom of the racetrack, I promise you, we will be good. We'll be in contention. And Rick, you mentioned it earlier. He listened. The driver listened to the crew chief. And Jesse Love has been so impressive. The rookie has indeed worked the bottom all night long tonight, sitting in fourth, but looking at second and third right in front of him.
Pretty impressive for the young driver. Again, he's just 19 years old. Varying in ages from 18 all the way up to Dale Jr., who's the young ripe age of 49 years old. They're looking back at Chandler Smith. There's Dale Jr. and the bumper going to the back of the 20.
49 and frustrated. He's with a natural stack up, Jeff. You talk about this all the time. You know, the Dale Jr. has the 9 right behind him and the 1 right behind him because the 20, who's not doing anything wrong. He's running his own race, but the 8 is yet to find a way around him.
Yeah, then when someone makes contact with you and you know you're holding them up, you have a decision to make. You either dig in, you're like, you know what? Now I'm going to race you even harder, or you got the cue. All right, he's tired of messing with me. If he has a good run on me, I might want to let him go. You can go either way. I have a feeling with 47 to go, you have to do everything you can to keep Dale Jr. behind you.
And if you're wondering, you're just tuning in, getting ready for some football here later. You're wondering, why does Dale Jr. race in the Xfinity Series race? He's a Hall of Famer. He retired. Well, Hellman's wanted him behind the wheel of the car. And so a deal was worked out that he would get behind the wheel of the car at least one race out of the year. They chose Bristol.
I think that's his sales pitch to Amy. Dale really loves to come race here. And he's like, listen, dear, it's a business thing. I have to go do it. We're deep down. I think he loves climbing on board at least once a year and just getting out here and racing. His radio is so much fun to listen to. He smiles around the racetrack. He really enjoys these weekends.
So fans, don't sit her back.
That's right. That's right.
Moments ago, Sheldon Creed up there fighting for that second spot with Chandler Smith.
Wow, look at that slide. Really loose on point of entry. We've seen that from Creed most of the night. Really loose. So here's Dale Jr.'s opportunity as he gets 7 is there. See, some of it at Bristol was just timing, right? Right there, Truex in the wall. Had the 27 not been there, I think the 88 Junior could have just turned left and gotten door to door with him, but the 27 was there.
And now he gets beside him. Well, have tucked in behind.
And this was what Junior talked about pre-race. He talked about he felt like the bottom wasn't going to be very good and it was going to move to the top. And once it moves to the top, passing was going to become even more difficult than it normally is at Bristol, and that's what you're watching. See, in the past year, when it was one groove and on the bottom, you could get to somebody's bumper, move them out of the way. But now, if Dale Jr. gets into his bumper, Truex gets in the wall, and you have nowhere to go. He takes you with him.
Right.
Oh, man, he couldn't hold it.
You heard him have to get out of the gas there.
I thought he had him there.
And Brandon Jones looking for an opportunity. If one of these two makes a mistake, Dylan Brandon Jones will pounce on it.
Yeah, he needs a lot of help. Remember, they have to win with 38 laps to go. It's not looking good for them, but at this point, they won't.
What? Channel is temporarily unavailable. What are we doing here? Oh, no. Has anybody else lost the stream? Or lost the CW?
That's 5 races.
Oh, we're good. Scared me.
If they win this race, Bolton is the defending champion of this series. The playoffs start next weekend, and right now he's trying to win the regular season with 15 extra bonus points. If he can hold the lead, right now he just wants updates on where Sheldon Creed in second position is running behind him.
And right now it's 5 points. That's separating the 00 and the 7 as far as regular season standings, but it's a big deal points to win the regular season. You get 10 playoff points to finish second, and that's like a race. That's like another race of wins that you're able to gain as far as playoff points and take those into the playoffs with you. Those carry along each round. Currently leading this race, Cole Custer looking for his second win of the 2024 season. He's 19 races in at Pocono when he got his first win. Again, the defending series champion on the top of your screen. Under 31 laps to go in this race.
Like a battle for fifth in the bottom right-hand corner. Brandon Jones in that yellow car was able to get by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Here's how it happened. Junior keeps trying to get by the 20 of Truex. Brandon Jones goes to the bottom. Just has really good pace, and I think Junior cutting a little slack there.
You go give it a try. I've been trying for
Start trading pace. Again, Truex right now is running in the 5th position in that 20. 6th is the 9 of Brandon Jones, and 7th now is Earnhardt Jr.
And with 28 to go, the 00 continues to lead by almost 2 seconds. No more brand new Goodyear tires in the pit stall for the 00 because he had plans earlier. For the rest of the leaders, or the majority of the leaders, they do have another set of the lead lap. I believe a majority will come for a fresh set of tires. The 00 is kind of committed, I think, on this set. So it might not be a unanimous decision. This 9 working really well on the bottom of the 20. Can he get by him here in Claremont corner exit? Lap car up ahead. Oh, he gets him, I think.
Not quite.
There comes the 88 as well.
But you talked about that lap track with the 43 of Ellis, but Brandon Jones to the top to block Dale Jr.
I saw the fire out the pipes of that 20. I thought it would make it happen, but really nice work by the 20. Keep the position on the racetrack.
Brandon Jones, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Sam Mayer, all at Junior Motorsports, running 6th, 7th, and 8th right there.
I'll give Truex a lot of credit. His car is not as fast as the guys behind him, but he has done a great job of keeping them behind. Now's your chance. Slow traffic in front.
Brandon Jones, as the laps wind down, he knows he has to win. And you see the points on the left side of the screen. Brandon Jones, too many points back. He has to win to advance. If he wins, that knocks Sammy Smith out of the playoffs.
When Dale Jarrett talked about the pre-race show about how you lose your temper here at Bristol, this is why. Right? Because the 9 or Dale Jr. have been chasing that 20 for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 laps, and you feel like you're trying to make gains, and that person isn't cutting you any slack, and it's just kind of increasing the tempers inside the car. The 00, the leader, same way, trying to get by the 19. His patience much shorter, a little bit of contact. Oh.
Yeah, pretty good contact there for Joe Graff Jr. in the 19 with the wall.
Custer has a 1 second lead, so it's not like it can heartbeat.
And how about Creed running 2nd again?
Well, in front of the 00, this 97 and 44 have had contact a couple times. So you talk about that 1 second lead. If these two get crossed up, that 1 second could be 1 set of quarters.
You mentioned it, 18 now on the lead lap, and the 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen is right in front of Cole Custer. He is running in that 18th spot, so he is the last car on the lead lap, and 00 is going to put the bumper to the back of him.
Cole Custer is being very aggressive with this lap traffic. You gotta be careful. You make somebody mad.
Oh,
I
Right
get it.
there.
You gotta get by them, but payback can happen.
We saw SVG move down the racetrack, let him know he wasn't happy about the way he was racing him.
How about the brake rotors? That 00, bright orange. Showing he's using a lot of brake.
Custer has a 1.3 second lead over Sheldon Creed. Then it's Chandler Smith, Jesse Love, Ryan Truex, all the top 5. Brandon Jones. Again, that was how the 00 got around the 97, but you saw the 97 come back down a little bit here.
Bristol.
Under 13 to go. Custer looking for his second win of the 2024 season. Sheldon Creed, oh so close again. He's 1.1 seconds away. 12 times already in his career, he's finished second.
13, do we hear
Chandler
13?
Smith about 2 car lengths back now from the 18. He's closing the gap. Brandon Jones, a must-win situation. And now Chandler Smith has caught the back of the 18 of Creed. Under 10 to go. Mentioned tempers. Will people get frustrated here with the final 10 laps? Smith to the inside. Has to get out of the gas. There's a lot of ground.
Tires worn out, patience worn out, traffic everywhere.
Another lap down for the 7th of Allgaier. And Custer looking as though he's less than 7 laps away from a possible regular season championship. With the problems for Allgaier, he's running 30th. He's 10 laps down.
Right now for Cole Custer. The next car is about 10 car lengths in front of him. So he doesn't have to push the issue with only 5 to go.
As they run, 911 points for Cole Custer, 908 points for Allgaier. That is for the regular season championship. 3 points are the difference. Custer coming up on 3 laps to go. And still, we see Chandler Smith trying to get by Creed for second.
These guys have been going at it.
Almost this whole run.
Donuts on the side of the 18 car. Oh, the 81 has him in a good spot. Stuck up behind that 44.
2 laps to go for current race leader Cole Custer here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. He's behind a lap car, Jeb Burton, but the battle for second is so intense behind him, they're not going to Smith trying to use the 44. Brendan pulls a pick to get the second place. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go for Custer. Sheldon Creed trying to hold on for a 13th career place second finish. Got really loose off turn 2, slid sideways, clearing Brendan Poole the lapper. Chandler Smith underneath him. Creed holds him tightly to the bottom of the racetrack. Gets the drive off, wins by nose for second. But at the front of the field, Cole Custer is going to get the race win here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. Margin of victory 0.8 of a second for Custer. And with the win, will also clinch the regular season championship over Justin Allgaier. 3 points. Cole Custer wins the regular season title. He came in tonight minus 43. No stage points for Justin Allgaier. He gets 7 points for his place finishing result. Cole Custer gets 40 points for his place finishing result as well, getting 13 stage points to Justin Allgaier's 0. That is on Allgaier in 1 race. Congratulations to Cole Custer winning the race and the regular season championship. That's 20 playoff points in 1 night. And he definitely earned it over the course of not only putting a whole season's worth of races together to win the regular season championship, but also putting a great race together here tonight at Bristol. Custer led the most laps in the race of any other driver. He led 104 of the 300 laps. En route to victory here this evening. 60 laps led for Justin Allgaier as well, 55 for Sam Mayer, 30 for Stage 1 winner Chandler Smith. Second place finisher Sheldon Creed leads 28 laps. A lap led for Jesse Love, a lap under caution led for Dale Jr. That's where Love also led in this race, was under yellow. 5 laps led on a restart initially for Ryan Sieg at the end of Stage 2. And Jeremy Clements led for 17 also towards the end of Stage 2. He actually won Stage 2 on pit strategy. Make that 9. 9 different drivers led at least one lap in the race today. And we ended up having a total of 15 lead changes in tonight's race amongst those 9 different leaders. 6 cautions, only 1 in the final stage, 2 in stage 1 and stage 2. And the stage ends, of course, at lap 85 and lap 170. Only 16 cars finish on the lead lap. Pretty quick race tonight, all things considered. Only 2 hours and 55 seconds. Average race speed of 78.48 miles per hour. And again, we finished under the regulation length of 300 laps, which was the scheduled distance here tonight in the Food City, 300 at Bristol. Here's your race winner, regular season champion, Cole Custer.
What a night for Cole Custer and this team. They rebound after an early flat tire to come home victorious. Cole, we heard your enthusiasm on the radio. A big win here at Bristol at night, but bigger than that, after the summer you guys have had, what a relief. What does this mean to the team?
Man, it's unbelievable. Can't thank High Point enough. I mean, awesome to get them a win. Ford Performance. All the guys did such a great job. Unbelievable car all night. So, ready to get to playoffs.
Not only that, you are the regular season champion. What does this mean as you look to defend your title this year?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, huge to get this momentum because our confidence was going down there this last month. So, to get this win really means a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cole Custer back in victory lane in the NASCAR.
Celebrating his second win of the 2024 season. The playoffs begin in a week, and you can tell that the momentum that this 00 team has puts them now as the favorite to defend that championship.
If we get any more interviews on the other side of the commercial break in the CW, you will get to listen into that. We'll go through the finishing order now for the time being. Cole Custer, again, at 8/10 of a second margin of victory, wins tonight's race. 104 laps led for him. Sheldon Creed finishes second for the 13th time in his Xfinity Series career, and still yet to get that first career win. Chandler Smith ends up bringing it home in third. Jesse Love fourth. Ryan Truex in fifth. Brandon Jones 6th. Good run for Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishing 7th tonight. Ryan Sieg 8th. Sam Mayer 9th. And AJ Allmendinger rounds out the top 10. And 11th, Anthony Alfredo after starting 3rd. Jeremy Clements 12th place finish for him after winning stage 2. Riley Herbst finishes 13th. Austin Hill 14th. Sammy Smith 15th will lock up the last spot in the playoffs on points tonight. Parker Kligerman, who also clinched a playoff spot on points tonight, finishes 16th as the last car in the lead lap. Brendan Poole, first car lap down at 17. Shane Van Gisberg at 18. Joe Graff Jr. 19th and Josh Bilicki 20th. Josh Williams 21st. Blaine Perkins 22nd. Kyle Sieg 23rd. 24th, Ryan Ellis. Jeb Burton 25th. Kyle Weatherman 26th. And Justin Allgaier 30th, who again came in with a 43-point lead over Cole Custer in the regular season standings and only ends up missing out on the regular season championship by 3 points, but gave all that up. 46-point difference between those two drivers here tonight. No stage points for Allgaier really hurt him. Was involved not 1, not 2, but 3 incidences as well, which resulted in him finishing in 30th, 10 laps down. Also 10 laps down in 31st was Leland Honeyman. 32nd for Chad Fincham, laps down. Matt DiBenedetto had a mechanical issue, went behind the pit wall, came back out, and he did finish 25 laps down in 34th. And we have 4 DNFs tonight, 35th through 38th in the running order. Jeffrey Earnhardt finishing 35th. Garrett Smithley 36th, Parker Retzlaff 37th, and Austin Green 38th. Those two involved in an incident back in the first 50 laps of the race and DNF'd. That was the very first incident of the night. That involved the 7 car of Allgaier as well. And that downward spiral this night couldn't have been any worse, really, for Justin Allgaier. Had a 43-point lead on the regular season standing. Still wasn't enough to close it out, on top of the fact he was involved in 3 incidences. Finished well off the lead lap, but had to keep running just in case Custer fell out of the lead. Because if he would not have won this race, he would not be the regular season champion. Allgaier finishing where he did. If Custer had not won the race and would have finished second instead of first, Justin Allgaier would have had to finish 33rd or worse for Custer to still win the regular season title, which obviously didn't happen. which is why it was crucial for Allgaier to stay in the race, but nobody was able to catch Custer in those final roughly 100 laps. Here's an interview with Dale Earnhardt Jr., who finishes 7th tonight.
Yeah, it's 2 helmets, 2 wiring harnesses, and 1 pair of glasses. The most important thing is that you have fun in the midst of all that chaos.
Yes, I did. I was worried because it's heading the wrong direction there quickly. But now I've been having some problems with my helmets and stuff, and the wiring, earplugs, and all that stuff all year with my late model stuff, and they're making. But you do your best, right? And we try not to lose any laps. We try to figure out how to get it right. We finally got to where I could hear TJ, and balance of the car was really good. Dropped the track bar to try to help the free end and didn't need to do that. That probably cost me a spot or 2, but I'm thrilled. Come out here, be competitive. Man, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to be competitive. I can come out here for another 20 years, but, eventually these young kids, they just get to be so good. So it's fun to be able to run with them tonight.
So to that point, you told the guys on the radio, we'll do this again in a few years. So this might not be the last one?
No, I mean, the thing is like, I've been doing this with Hellman's and Unilever, great partner. Been doing this, well, I'll run 1 race and they'll do about, 6 or 8 races on the 7. Next year they said, hey, we're going to do the races, don't need you to run. I said, man, I just might set out intentionally. I got to work on my broadcasting, new partners and all that, so I want to be great. Been missing you guys at NBC and the CW and all that, so I booth and maybe I'll get back in this thing. I'm sure I'll miss it and probably end up signing up for something in 26.
Hey, so real quick, how cool was it that SVG came up to you immediately and just wanted to shake your hands because he got to race with you? Same for Ryan Truex.
I'm gonna tell you, I went to Australia 20 years ago. Met some great people there. Mark Zambrose took care of us. Paul Morris. And ever since SVG's been over here, Paul Moore's been texting me all kinds of stuff about him and how excited they are. And we just love it when those guys come over and race with us. And I've never been to New Zealand. I'd love to go. And told him, I said, if I go to New Zealand, man, I'll come to stay with you. So maybe that'll happen one day. Me and the Truexes, we're very close. Ryan, great kid. I've been pulling for him. He drove for us at one point. Yeah. Truex me like brothers. So I knew Truex was watching. I was trying to beat his brother because I knew Truex was pulling for little Ryan to beat me there at the end. So I was trying to get around him, but I couldn't do it.
Jim, as you can't tell, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a lot of fun here tonight at Bristol. Beer is coming up, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell. And his driver can too. Sammy Smith was like, man, he's talking a lot. Sammy, you finished. How was it out there for you tonight?
Yeah, it's been a real grind the last couple months. Just kind of struggled here and there. We've hit it a couple times, but I was one of those nights again. Just really struggled, and I just feel like we gotta dig deep and figure something out. Obviously, it's cool to make the playoffs. Just thanks to my sponsors, Power Flying Dre, TMC, Allstate Peterbilt Group, Golden Harvest Surrender Group for sticking with us, and we just got to keep getting better.
Getting better. How do you reset and find the momentum you need as the playoffs start next week at Kansas?
I mean, I think, yeah, you're just kind of play a reset, but at the same time, we just got to run better, and I think that's really the end goal. And if we're going to continue to make it to Phoenix, we gotta strive to make some bigger strides. So hopefully we can do that and make it to the next couple rounds.
Sammy Smith will get to run for a title this season, Dylan.
So will Sheldon Creed, another second place finish for him today, back-to-back weeks as a runner-up. But what more did you need tonight to contend with the 0-0?
Yeah, I mean, probably just not slip up there when I did have the lead. I did the exact same thing he did in front of me the restart before, and it was just really easy to get loose there early in the run. So that probably costed me. And then, I don't know, I went pretty hard middle of the run trying to get back to him and just got myself really tight. And then I was trying everything at the end, bouncing it off the wall, trying to run the middle, stay out of the rubber. Just anything I could do to get closer to him and trying to find my way through lap traffic. I was kind of forcing lappers to live when I've been really consistent, which has been great. I don't even care about how many seconds I have at this point. It's still cool to run good every week, so I'm loving that part of it. I'm going to have a beer with Dale here.
Before you go, let me ask you this. With the playoffs looming now next week, what is on this team's checklist to take the next step to get to victory lane when it counts?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I'll be surprised if we don't win for yeah, I don't know. We're going to go and keep the same mindset these next few weeks, try to get through this first round. But, yeah, definitely I think we need to win one and, try to get ourselves to the Final Four and fight for a championship.
All right, crowd's growing behind you. Go get that beer. Sheldon Creed finishes second today. He'll fight for a championship.
Let's fight and get to the cooler. As you see the playoff
All right, we'll take a look at the playoff picture then for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Again, that will begin next week for them in the round of 12 at Kansas. Justin Allgaier plus 27 points above the cutoff line. He is the number 1 seed. But Cole Custer, the regular season champion, plus 21 points above as the number 2 seed. Austin Hill plus 18 points, plus 17 for Chandler Smith. Shane Van Gisbergen plus 10 with his 3 wins this year. Plus 6 for Jesse Love. Sam Mayer plus 4 and plus 3 for Riley Herbst. Minus 3 points for Sheldon Creed. AJ Allmendinger, minus 4. Sammy Severs below the cutoff line. Herbst, the last driver above. Creed, the first driver out. As we begin the chase for the championship. So that is going to wrap up everything here tonight for our Food City 300 coverage at Bristol Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We'll be live again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern with our pre-race coverage for the NASCAR Cup Series Bass Pro Shops Bristol Night Race. Hope to see you for that one. Appreciate it, everybody, as always. Thanks for tuning in these first few streams this weekend. It's Bristol, baby. We got one more night. The main event tomorrow night, Saturday night. Full moon. Saturday night racing. Short track, Bristol. Can't wait. Hopefully we see you then. Thanks for watching, everybody.